This is a tutorial that demonstrates geometric scripting in Blender using Python programming language. This is the default viewport when you open a Blender software. There will be a camera, a cube and light. So I have to delete this or by pressing the key A, then press the X key, then enter. So we delete the standard objects in that viewport. Then we will create a new viewport by dragging, as you see, and from this drop down menu I selected the text editor. New means we can create a new script and we can type new Blender commands in order to create an object. If you have already created a script, you have to click on the open. So this is a script that I have created in order to create a cube. The from P0 to P19 it is a vertex data. Those vertex data are arranged in a manner such that it will become the vertex point of each planar phase, like phase 1, phase 2 up to phase 6. So this is a ordered set of points. Then all these phase lists are appended to a major list or main list that called all phases, and these all phases is bring to a for loop, and in each iteration we are giving the object name as phase plus string of c plus 1. C is the index of the iteration. That is why you are seeing the enumerate function here. Enumerate will brings the iterative object as well as its index. In order to get 6 phases from phase 1 to phase 6, I am just adding c plus 1 because the first index will be 0. So in order to get phase 1, I am just adding 0 plus 1. So in the next step, that is in the step 39, I am creating a mesh data object. There are different kinds of data objects in Blender like mesh, curve, surface, metabol, etc. Right now I am interested in creating a mesh object, a cube of mesh object data. In the line 40 I am creating a object which I am interested. I can give a name to that object. It can be a mesh object of anything that I want to design. So I am giving a mesh object by name as ob name and the mesh data as me. Next, the vertex data for each phase is applied or assigned to the coords. Coords means the short form I given to coordinates. So the coordinates of a phases, and these coordinates is inputted to mesh data. So automatically it will be a part of object data because object data is developed by inputting the mesh data. Then the next step is 44. We are appending the current object to the screen. That is why we are context.scene.collection.objects.link ob. This is the scene.collection or the context objects. What are the things are in the context object that we will see in the viewport. The next step you can avoid, it is a print statement of the current active object. If you want to know the name of the current object, you will print the output. Line 47 brings the viewport to the edit mode. There are different kinds of mode. In edit mode in only edit mode we can make the vertex data to fit with the edge or a face. If we are supplying a list of 2 vertex data, then it will create a edge. If there is vertex data more than 2, then it will create a face based on the number of the vertex data. It can be a triangular face, it can be a chord face if it is 4, and more than 4 it will be n-gons, means n number sided polygons. Then the next step is to bring back the object from edit to object mode. Object mode will be the usual mode that you will see when you add something to the Blender. If it is in edit mode, the operation, some Blender operation can be applied to that. In order to avoid any further operation, we are unselecting and coming back to the object mode. This is the first example. If I click on the script run script button, a cube will be generated. A cube will generate with phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. I can hide these phase, each individual phase. So it's a cube is a collection of 6 phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the example of creating a cube from vertex data. The next step is I am going to make some transformation, rotational transformation to some of the vertices. So for that I will open the second example file. So this is the second example file. I will delete this object already created. In this second example, the input data are the same. I'm just creating, will drag this to make it clear. This is a two rotational objects from this math utils.euler. In this example, I'm rotating, the first one is Euler 1. I'm rotating the vertex, the selected vertex with respect to z axis at an angle 60 degree. In the second case, rotating the selected vertexes at an angle 45 degree to the z axis. In this line, in line 32, I am just applying this rotational object to the each item of vector 1 list. What is this vector 1 list or vec1 list? We are making this tuple object to a vector object. Phase 4 points is the respective points to create that particular phase. Not that particular phase. It is the topmost points that will rotate at an angle 60 degree, and this will be the midpoints which will rotate at an angle 45 degree. The line 33 and 38 shows that we are retrieving the vector object into the tuple format again. Here we will convert the tuple. In line 31 and line 36 we will convert the tuple to vector object, and in line 33 and line 38 we will retrieve back the tuple object from the vector objects. And we are assigning each points in the respective order in order to make a planar phase 1, phase 2, etc. up to phase 6. Then we are appending all these phases to the main list called all phases. Then we are moving that to the for loop as we have seen in the previous example. All the operations are the same. If I run the run script, you will see a rotated vector objects. With respect to that rotated vector objects, the new phases I have created. So this is the example of creating a cube by Python script and to deform its shape by doing some transformation operation. Here the rotation object is used. You can try different things.